So from there, give verse 45, a sign and a wonder.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So he said all these curses will be upon the children of Israel for a sign. What do a sign do? It tells you what location, right? That's why they got the sign on the barbershop, right? To identify the location of the barbershop, right? So God says the curses will be a sign of, the children of Israel is right there. These are the children of Israel because of these curses, right? So like I said before, cursed in the field, cursed in the city, right? Our sons given to another people, right? This is all worldly history that we can look up, but that happened to a certain group of people, right? But did that happen to everybody? Did the so-called Caucasians, did they go into slavery? Did the so-called Japanese, Chinese children get taken from them, right? Do they live in the cursed in the city? No, they own everything, right? A lot of us in the city, when we look, especially in the hood, we know the East Indians. A lot of them own the corner stores, right? We know the Asians. A lot of them own the hair stores, right? So when we look at our people, they doing well off, right? They getting money from us, so they know they ain't worried about nothing, right? So they're not cursed. These only fit into a specific group of people, which is what? The so-called blacks, the so-called Hispanics, Native Americans. These were the curses that fit us. So we are identifying the real children of Israel according to the Bible. So we won't have no misconceptions of who the children of Israel is today. What's our true nationality? So the Deuteronomy is showing the history, worldly history that happened thousands of years ago that came to pass as prophecy, was showing who the children of Israel is today, right? Now go to 49. Let's start at 49. 49.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee.
A nation, meaning what? A whole race of people, right? He said the Lord will bring a nation against thee. Once again, to the children of Israel. Read.
From far.
From far. Where did Christopher Columbus come from? They say he came from the end of the earth, right? Back then they thought the earth was flat, which is not. But they say Christopher Columbus came from all the way to the end of the earth to come to America for what? For the Native Indians, right? Which makes up the Native Indians, the Aztecs, the Mexicans, the Hispanics, right? He said, I would say the nation, where?
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
From far, right? Read.
From the end of the earth.
From the end of the earth, because they thought the earth was flat back then. Read.
As swift as the eagle flieth.
So it says as swift as the eagle flieth, right? What nation of people use the eagle today as like their banner, as a mascot? America, we use the eagle. You see the white eagle, the American flag. The Russians use it, right? Great Britain use it. So this is identifying a certain race of people, right? It says as swift as the eagle, because the eagle is a bird of prey. It preys on anything else. That's the bird of prey, right? So this is identifying the so-called Caucasian man, right? So he said, I'm gonna send him, which was the Spaniards, Hernan Cortez, Ponce de Leon, right? That's who he sent down here to see the children, but he thought, because Columbus was his new world, and he said, okay, I see people already here, which is the Indians, and they took them back as what? As slaves. So this is mentioned all the way back in the Bible that this will come to pass in the future. But when we in school, they don't mention this history started in the Bible. So keep reading.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
So when Christopher Columbus came over here and conquered the Hispanics, right? They didn't understand his dialect, his language, right? So that means we wasn't speaking Spanish. We was speaking Hebrew, because the first slave actually came from Spain, right? Because he had to what? be the interpreter for Christopher Columbus to the natives. Because when they came down here, they said, oh, these they speak Hebrew. They got a Hebrew dialect. So, and which the Hebrews are us. We are the Hebrews, which is the children of Israel, God's chosen people. So understand, he said, I will bring a nation against thee that we will not even learn nor their tongue. Read that again.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
From far, read.
From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
Go ahead.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
So like I said, we wasn't already speaking Spanish. We was taught Spanish from what? Our oppressors, right? Same with us. We was taught English from our captors who had us in captivity. We was taught what? English, right? So that was not our first language. Our actually first language was Hebrew. The Hebrew language, because we are the children of Israel. Now this is the prophecy showing the world history, what happened to the people, right? Read on.
A nation of fierce countenance.
A nation of fierce countenance. Because when Christopher Columbus came, he came with an army.
4K.
We seen them, we was afraid, right? Read.
Which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young.
What do that mean? You do not regard a person of the old or show favor to the young. And this is when the Spaniards came over here, or when you could call the English, when they came over here and conquered us. What did that mean? They don't regard the person of the old or the young. What do you think that means, my brother?
But like they don't care about the old or the young?
Yeah, what's an example about not caring about the old or young? Yeah, because when we got here, you was at 3 years old, they had the young children picking cotton in the slave fields.
Exactly.
Old women, 95, 70, 80, they were still picking cotton. They had to do laborious work in 110, 120 degree heat. They did not care.
They didn't care about it.
They did not care at all because they seen us as beneath them. We was slave, they property, so they did whatever they wanted with us. So they did not regard that had an emotional, like, oh, that's a young kid, I'm not gonna put them in. They did not care. They did not look at us as human. They looked at us as subhuman, right? So this is a prophecy that's showing that it actually happened. Because you can see the history on these things, slavery, of what happened. Like you said, we built America, basically. The children of Israel, we built America, and we don't have nothing to show for it at all, right? So this is history of the Bible identifying who the children of Israel is today. Because a lot of people don't understand that, but children of Israel is still here. God's chosen people is still on the planet Earth today, which are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Everybody in the child of God, right? We, the American blacks, are the real Jews. Because you got 12 tribes, right? Y'all all get flyers. On the back of that flyer, you got the children of Israel, and you got a list of the 12.
Yeah, I got one.
Right? The 12 tribes that make up that Israel, the different nationalities, right? So you got Judah. The Judah would be so-called today American blacks, right? You got Benjamin as being the West Indians or Jamaicans. You got Levi as being Haitians, right?
So he bringing
all these people, we make up the 12 tribes of Israel. We are one nation.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.